finale of the UN Tourism Artificial Intelligence Challenge, held within the sidelines of the 26th UN Tourism General Assembly. Over the past 7 years, UN Tourism has launched almost 40 competitions and challenges in collaboration with its member states and supported by partners from the innovation ecosystems. This event is dedicated to the 5 entrepreneurs that made it to the finals of the AI Challenge, presenting AI-driven solutions that facilitate branding, smart solutions for destinations, efficiency of operations, and education. We will bring together our dear co-hosts, UN Tourism and the government of Saudi Arabia, as well as global leaders, academia, innovators, and entrepreneurs, to explore how artificial intelligence is redefining tourism. Let us begin with our opening remarks from our distinguished guests. I would like to call to the stage the person who 7 years ago, together with the Secretary General, set the UN tourism agenda for innovation, education, and investments. She started her career working for the Colombian government and then made her way over to the innovation ecosystem as Vice President of the South Summit. She is an innovator herself and a strong advocate for youth and entrepreneurs. Natalia Bayona, Executive Director of UN Tourism, please come to the stage.
Good morning. It's my pleasure to be here today in a country that has been evolving so fast. I have to say that this is my 12th time in the kingdom, and I love that today, in the moment where we are celebrating innovators, we have a lot of ministers. So first of all, I want to thank all the ministers for being here, for listening. I see ministers from Africa, from Latin America. And of course, I want really to express my gratitude to His Highness Prince Saud Al Saud, Executive Director of the Tourism Development Fund GROW in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Another young, talented mind behind this partnership, working together with UN Tourism, and of course to all my colleagues from UN Tourism, to Samer, to Antonio, and to the whole UN Tourism team that has been making this possible. So, ladies and gentlemen, dear entrepreneurs, you know that my passion is education, innovation, and investments. Everyone knows that part of my DNA is to be with the young generations, working with them back to back to help them, to bring the technology alive, and of course to help the tourism innovation ecosystem. We started where we started with the AI agenda. We started the AI agenda in UN Tourism 1 year ago. We started in the world travel market, where the ministries and the governments from all around told us that UN Tourism needed the specialized artificial intelligence agenda to mix the human touch of the most human economic sector, that is tourism, with, of course, the technology that at the end is going to lead those platforms that will make us more efficient. So at the end, we were gathering, and we need to understand that tourism is tourism thanks to the power, of course, of people, but as well thanks to the power of the SMEs. More than 80% of our backbone is led by an SME. And of course, in this, and I'm really proud, I was telling that to His Highness, that I'm really proud that this artificial intelligence challenge got 400 applications from all around the world, more than 84 countries, and the top 5 that are here today are from all around, so we have a very good balance of countries. And I just want to wrap up this opening message by talking a little bit about the challenge. So the challenge had 4 categories. The first one was about branding, promotion, and marketing. The second one was about smart destinations and deep technologies. The third one is about education and technology, because at the end, if we don't have our workforce ready to serve to this sector through the technologies, the disbalance of the digital agenda will continue. And of course, the last but not least is about efficiency and operations. So I want to give a warm applause to all the finalists. iUrban from Spain, iGo AI from Saudi Arabia and UAE, Be Human from Colombia, Hotel Ops AI from India, and Consensus Framework from Brazil. So all the gratitude to you. Because at the end of the day, you are an example of how to guide the conversation between technology and policy. Use us as UN Tourism as that collaborator that can help you to give positioning and, of course, to work with the ministries all around the globe. And once again, I would like to thank our partners for this continuing collaboration, to Spark, that is the accelerator of La Roche. Then, as part of these, of course, to TDF, to Plug and Play that has been working with us, to Amadeus, among all other partners that has been working. And of course, I have to thank to the team of UN Tourism, to the regional office, to Lamise, that she was so humble, but she has been working back to back with us. And in the coming days, we will present to all the ministers of all around the globe 2 booklets, one of AI related, and the impact of AI in tourism jobs in the kingdom. And that was part of your task. And the second one was related and is related about the AI framework and how to innovate on education using AI. So thank you again to the team of the regional office and, of course, to the team of the headquarters to make this possible. I just want to end by saying a little bit about the program. So there are opportunities for the winners, but at the end they will have 2 months acceleration with one of the most important universities all around the globe in tourism, that is La Roche, access to our venture capital network, that is a community that we have built since I joined the organization, so that there are venture capitals mentoring and bringing funding opportunities for the startups, personalized mentorship, and of course, to access to this playbook and to the multilateral ecosystem. That's why, at the end, that's the power of the UN system, of UN Tourism, to bring all together. And of course, the winners will be in the main place of the General Assembly in front of all the ministers, all the heads of delegation, all the leaders when it comes to governments from all around the globe. So that, to me, is the most important moment, because it's the way to thank the young generations to do of what they are doing, but of course to empower them and to bring technology as part of the guiding principle of this conversation. So thank you again, and I hope that you enjoyed the journey.
Thank you very much, Natalia, for these inspiring words. Following, I would like to call Director Samer Al-Kharashi to the stage. Under his leadership, the UN Tourism Regional Office for the Middle East has resulted in a vital hub for sustainable tourism development in the region. The office's work focuses on fostering education and capacity building, promoting rural development, and driving innovation while implementing technical projects on the ground and strengthening the tourism sector in Arabic-speaking countries. Samer, please come to the stage.
Thank you, Lamise. It's a pleasure to address you today. Allow me first to welcome His Highness Prince Saud Al Saud, the Executive Director at the Saudi Tourism Development Fund, and our partners, La Roche, Amadeus, and Plug and Play, our inspiring Executive Director, Natalia Biona and Antonio, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It is a true pleasure to welcome you all at the grand final of the UN Tourism Artificial Intelligence Global Challenge, held here in Riyadh within the framework of our 26th session of our General Assembly. Today, we celebrate innovation, creativity, and the power of technology to shape a better future for tourism. This challenge has brought together bright minds from across the globe. Startups, entrepreneurs, and visionaries who have redefined how artificial intelligence can serve people, destinations, and our planet. The response has been extraordinary. Each proposal reflects a shared belief that AI can make tourism smarter, more sustainable, and more inclusive. Here in Riyadh, we witness the culmination of the journey of 5 remarkable finalists showcased their solutions ideas that harnessed AI to enhance sustainability, elevate travelers, and strengthen experiences with upholding ethics standards. At UN Tourism, we are proud to foster this spirit of innovation through our global innovation network. This initiative, as this one, we aim to empower startups, nurture talent, and connect them with our investors, mentors, and opportunity for global expansion. I would like to extend my sincere appreciation to our partners, La Roche, Spark Innovation Sphere, Unicorn, and Plug and Play, and all who contributed to making this initiative a success. Your collaboration and commitment exemplify the collective energy that we drive the purpose of our sector. To our finalists, congratulations. Reaching this stage is already a great achievement. Your passion and creativity inspire us to remind that future of tourism will be defined by innovation guided by responsibility and purpose. I'm also particularly proud to see that among the finalists, we have startups from our region. This is a clear testament that the Middle East is now embracing innovation, is not only embracing innovation, but empowering its talented young people to showcase their potentials on the global stage. It reflects that region's growing commitments to shaping the future of tourism through creativity, technology, and collaboration. Thank you all for being part of this remarkable journey, and I wish every success to our finalists and for the continuous advancements of AI for a more sustainable, inclusive, and human-centered tourism sector. Thank you.
Thank you, Samer. Lastly, I would like to call His Highness Prince Saud Al Saud to the stage. As Executive Director of TDF Grow, the entrepreneurship program of the Tourism Development Fund. His Highness leads one of the kingdom's key institutions driving the transformation of Saudi Arabia's tourism landscape under Vision 2030. Through strategic partnerships, innovative financing solutions, and capacity building initiatives, TDF Grow enables both local and international investors to develop high-impact tourism projects that diversify the economy and create opportunities across the kingdom. His leadership has been instrumental in positioning Saudi Arabia as one of the fastest-growing tourism destinations in the world, fostering sustainable growth and innovation throughout the sector. Please come to the stage.
Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, innovators, investors, colleagues, and friends. Welcome to Riyadh and the grand finale of the UN Tourism Artificial Intelligence Challenge. At the Tourism Development Fund, we are proud to be an associate member of UN Tourism and part of this global mission, advancing responsible innovation and sustainable growth in tourism. Let me begin by thanking UN Tourism for bringing us together and by recognizing our partners, Spark, Atelier Roche, the UN Tourism Online Academy, all the jurors, mentors, and corporate leaders who guided this journey. To our finalists, congratulations. You have already achieved a lot of hundreds of applications. Your ideas stood out because they show that technology can serve people and places. Tourism is one of humanity's most powerful forces of connection. It links destinations and data, family businesses, and global platforms, fragile ecosystems, and major infrastructure. AI can help this system work better, faster, and fairer if we use it with responsibility, purpose, inclusion, and trust. At the Tourism Development Fund, these are our guiding principles. First, purposeful AI. Technology should make a real difference on the ground for destinations, businesses, and travelers. Imagine AI models that help hotels and heritage sites manage water and energy, that guide visitors to protect nature, or to help small businesses set smart prices like big hotel chains. Second, inclusive AI. Saudi Arabia's tourism transformation is built on public-private partnerships and strong support for SMEs. AI can be an inclusion accelerator, helping translation, accessibility, and data-driven training that prepares local talent for the future. Third, trusted AI. Tourism depends on trust, and we all know that, from visitors, investors, and communities. That means protecting privacy, being transparent at the same time, and keeping humans in control of important decisions. It also means sharing data safely and measuring what really matters, not only clicks and sales, but also conservation, jobs, and guest satisfaction. Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030 opens new destinations, new experiences, and new opportunities. At TDF, our mission is to enable projects that are both commercially strong and socially meaningful. And increasingly, that means enabling technology. To the founders in this room, see Saudi Arabia as your living lab for responsible tourism innovation. Bring us your ideas to improve travel experiences, manage visitors and visitor flows, and tell authentic stories that connect guests with our culture and nature. If your solution helps a hotelier in Al-Ula, a guide in Asir, or a restaurateur in Jeddah, or a heritage site in Dir'iyah, welcoming guests more warmly and sustainably, you will find a partner in us. To investors and corporate leaders, today it's not just a competition, it's a pipeline. These founders are building the tools for our sector and the tools that we will rely on the years ahead. Join us in giving them capital, customers, mentorship that turns prototypes into real platforms. To UN Tourism and our academic partners, thank you for ensuring that innovation and ethics travel together. Scholarships, mentorships, and acceleration are not extras. They are what lift the good ideas into real impact. Ladies and gentlemen, tourism's promise is simple. Meaningful encounters that enrich lives with respecting places. AI does not change that promise, it helps us keep it. From all of us in the Tourism Development Fund, congratulations to our finalists. We invite you to keep building with us here in Saudi Arabia and across the world. May the best idea win, and may they travel far.
Thank you.
We now move to our opening keynote, AI-driven tourism, shaping experiences, driving growth. Once again, I would like to welcome Ms. Natalia Bayona, Executive Director of UN Tourism. Ms. Bayona, the floor is yours.
Me again. So I always do these keynotes because it's the only way not only to inspire the young generations, but also to talk a little bit about the AI agenda in this case, and of course, how we can create a AI-driven tourism ecosystem. So let's start by saying something that is really important. Artificial intelligence by far is changing the way we imagine, we plan, we live, we travel, and the potential, of course, is immense. I'm here because I dare to innovate. I'm the executive director, and I always say that. I became the executive director of UN Tourism when I was 38. And I became a young leader, not because of being young, it's because I dare to innovate. I created the innovation department first, then the education department, then investments, and I don't care, in my personal opinion, about failing or success. Failing at the end of the day is helping you to create things and to evolve. So Samer was asking me, who's that nice lady? And I told him how old I am today. That was 7 years ago. That was my first pitch when I just arrived to UN Tourism. So what is happening in the world? This is really important when it comes to innovation. 50 million is the population of my dearest Colombia. 50 million new startups has been launched annually. Let's talk about venture capital. So when it comes to venture capital, global venture capital, I'm not talking about tourism. First, I'm going to talk about the global ecosystem, and then I'll be accurate into tourism. The global venture capital tripled the investments from $128 billion in 2015. Now, as of today, last year, venture capital invested $368 billion. So when people say there's no money for innovation, that's not true. The thing is that you need to find and to connect the two things, the talent plus the investors. And of course, when it comes to the global venture capital, 53% of those investments goes to AI. So for those that don't believe in the power of technology, I have to say that you need to manage technology, not because it's something that is going to help us, it's because it's here as a tool to make us more efficient at the end of the day. Currently, today, in the world, more than 46,000 companies are focused just on AI developments. 50% of them were founded in 2016. Let's go to tourism. What is happening in the tourism AI ecosystem? I have very good news as well. When it comes to global venture capital in travel startups, the venture capital investments has tripled as well, from $5 billion to $13 billion. So at the end, the tourism sector today is a small sector in the AI agenda, but it's growing as well. So this is a sector of opportunity. And here, the global venture gap, the representation of the tourism sector in the all venture capital ecosystem is just almost 2%. So that's why it's important to work together. That's why it's good that we work in UN Tourism to create these competitions, to bring the innovators with the corporates, with the academia, with the governments, because we need. Our challenge is to make that investment grow, that pipeline and that representation of tourism grow. only 2.9, okay, let's say 3% of the unicorns of global unicorns are from tourism. So again, hands up if you use a chatbot at least once a week. Who from you use a chatbot or ChatGPT? Raise your hand. So at the end, you are seeing all the hands. You are part, in your daily basis, you're using that. But I have something to say that we are just in the right place. 700 million weekly active ChatGPT users. That is 10% of the global population. Hands up again if you use AI for your plans and your tips. I have to say this because, you know, something that happened to me in Azerbaijan, and I'm going to be frank with you, is that I was with a taxi driver in the middle of Baku, and I didn't know how to talk Azeri. Of course, he doesn't know Spanish. So I decided to use ChatGPT to translate and to tell him, please bring me from A place to B place. And then he did the same. The taxi driver said, okay, how do I answer to her? The good answer at the end of the day, that 70% of the world travelers are using AI to discover new attractions and activities. 58% of the people like me are using AI to save time during planning. So you're asking, this is another real story. When I was in Peru in August, I love to read, but I love sweets as well. And I was striking between the ministerial meeting, and I was asking ChatGPT, okay, if I am here, what do I do to find the Peruvian sweets, plus to go to Vargas Llosa, the novel literature of Peru? So how can I do this roadmap? Of course, ChatGPT can give you an advice, and it's not only ChatGPT, there are a lot of new tools. But at the end, then, is the critical thinking to say, okay, is this correct? Do I need to double check again? But in question of seconds, they are at least giving you some solutions. Maybe they're not correct, but it's part of the journey. 40% of the people flying today are using AI to find new destinations, 23% to make quick adjustments, like I did, in the place, and 22%, this is important, to stay within budget, so not to spend more of what they have. But the problem or the challenge here is that, okay, this is correct, but at the end of the day, we already have 2.6 billion people that are still offline. So how do we balance this? As I mentioned before, how we help the people that don't have access to internet to get aware about these tools, how we help the SMEs to come to the digital agenda. We did a survey in UN Tourism, and more than 50% of the SMEs of the tourism sector just invest $5,000 per year for their digital agenda. So there we have a challenge. Then we have seen the other part, as I mentioned before, $337 billion in global spending on AI is projected for 2025. So at the end, technology is in the heart and innovation is in the heart. It's in tourism present and future. But, of course, we need to bear in mind, first of all, that 50% of the tourism workforce is the youth. So the first message that I want to give in this keynote is, without education and the proper education for the young generations, we won't be able to advance in this sector and to properly create a career for them. Second of all, of course, innovation thrives here as skills not only to bring new technologies, but also to help the young generations to become entrepreneurs, to create their own companies, and of course, to give and to be part of the sector. And of course, with this mentioned, what is UN Tourism doing? Because the first part was only a framework. And I love that I see a lot of iPhones and mobiles taking photos to the screens because it says that this is interesting at the end of the day. So what are the services that we are focalizing in UN Tourism when it comes to AI? First of all, we are doing reports. We are doing research. We just did a survey to all our member states, to all the governments, to understand where we are when it comes to AI. Second of all, my passion, education and tech, how we can use tech inside education to help the most vulnerable people to access to education and to massify the impact. Third of all, of course, we have a specialized agenda with a startup challenges, among others. So that's why we are here. We launched in WTM the first one with an affiliate member with Saxion University from the Netherlands. But as I mentioned in the opening, during this General Assembly, we are promoting 2 more reports that were made in our regional office in coordination with our headquarters. The first one is about the AI impact analysis of tourism and jobs in the kingdom. And the second one that will be open for all the member states is the recommendations for governments to create a focalized AI strategy related to tourism. Then, as Prince Al Saud mentioned, online education is crucial to us. We created with the kingdom a partnership, so we created the first online academy with the top universities all around the world joining with massive online courses. Thanks to this project, today we have AI Tutor inside the online academy, and is the first platform not only specialized in tourism, but also with AI professors that can help to personalize the journey. So today we have the Tourism Online Academy in 5 languages, but the AI Tutor, as I mentioned before, is able to personalize that journey. And this is public access, you know, and we have a scholarship program yearly for each of the members. So please use it as part of your education journey. And you can find courses from how to become a coffee barista to how to use AI in your business. Then, second point on how we are using AI is through WhatsApp, because we understood that through WhatsApp, and this is because we are following the trends in other sectors of the economy. And we see that vocational training is very difficult because there's a moment in life where vocational careers don't have time. They are 24/7. That's the case of a taxi driver, of a person that is 24/7 in a hotel, or if I don't have access to a computer in a rural area, but I always have this one. I always have a mobile. So we created, since last year, courses with AI through WhatsApp. So the courses are tailor-made. And as I mentioned, we have done these with El Salvador to train people on family-friendly tourism, how to host families in El Salvador, in Chile for the rural tourism communities, in Spain with hospitality associations, and in my home country in Colombia, in Cartagena, we trained all the taxi drivers of the region thanks to the power of AI and WhatsApp. So it's a very friendly model where you just need 10 minutes per day of your time. In the case of the person, they receive through WhatsApp a message, and then they start enrolling these for 10 minutes. After they finish all the modules, they get a certificate of UN Tourism plus the government or the association that is helping. So this is a very good opportunity because at the end, you can maximize the impact. So you can get thousands of people trained and micro-trained in a row. Of course, in the UN agenda, where we are, as you know, the thematic of this General Assembly is AI. And thanks to the Kingdom, we will create a declaration in the coming days focalized on how national governments, the multilateral agencies, and local authorities can work together. And last but not least, of course, the part, as I mentioned before, we will reveal during this General Assembly the survey of the member states. 80% of the member states, 80% of our ministries of tourism already use or already have a plan on AI, so that's good. But what we need from the Riyadh Declaration on the Future of Tourism is, of course, to set the basis on how that plan can solve the challenges that we are facing today in the digital agenda with the SMEs or with the people that are not connected today. Last but not least, that maybe is the most exciting part of this keynote is about this competition. So, of course, we have been evolving in the innovation program that we have inside UN Tourism. When I was hired 7, almost 8 years ago, it was just to create the first global startup competition. As of today, as Lamis mentioned before, we have done more than 40 competitions of these ones, and the facts are there. 24% of the startups that are part of our community are led by a woman, so that's incredible. We have startups from more than 150 countries in this ecosystem. We have done more than 200 mentorships and helping, of course, more than 18,000 startups that have been part of this program. So with this mentioned, those are examples of the 7 years where we have been innovating. With Africa, we have done competitions on social innovation, on branding Africa, in Latin America, on community tourism, in Saudi, women in tech for the Middle East, among others. So today, the AI competition will finish soon. 400 applicants, 84 countries. Look what is this. I love this fact. 48% of the startups that applied are led by a woman, Maribel. So you that as a women advocate, I know that that's incredible, because at the end that shows the importance of women entrepreneurs in our ecosystem. And of course, top nationalities comes from the US, UK, Spain, Uzbekistan, and India. And our beautiful finalists, as I mentioned them, this is a show for you to write from Brazil, from Spain, from India, from Colombia, from UAE, Saudi. So the winner, of course, will be in the General Assembly. And as we mentioned before, the whole ecosystem will help you to scale up your project and to accelerate your growth. So with this said, of course, I just want to end this presentation with, of course, AI, it's in the core, yes or yes. It's all about people. That's why we're here today, to connect people doing good things and using AI for good. Because at the end, people drives tourism, youth is leading this path, and AI is empowering this path. So tourism is the most human economic sector. I always say this. And with young entrepreneurs at its heart, artificial intelligence can amplify our potential to create, of course, a sustainable future where we have environmental care, social care, of course, and of course, economic care, because tourism is a business. So with this said, thank you. Again, enjoy the journey, and startups is your time to write. Thank you again.
Now it's the moment we've all been waiting for has arrived, the pitching round of the UN Tourism Artificial Challenge. We have 5 remarkable startups selected among 440 applicants joining us today, each pioneering innovative AI-driven solutions that redefine the future of tourism. Before starting, I'd like to give a big thank you to the jury and the partners of the challenge who will be selecting the winner. The jury is composed of representatives from Summit Education, Amadeus Ventures, and the UN Global Compact. Now we can officially start with our innovators. I kindly remind the finalists that you each have 7 minutes for your pitches. First, I would like to call to the stage Andres Martinez, CEO and co-founder of iUrban from Spain. iUrban is a scale-up that uses artificial intelligence to transform small and medium-sized destinations into smart, accessible tourism hubs. Thank you.
This is it. Okay, thank you. Assalamu alaikum. Marhaba. Good afternoon, everyone. There are many talks about artificial intelligence, how to use this in destination management, but how it's possible to compete with ChatGPT and Google that always send you to the same places, to the most crowded places. Can technology bring life to the forgotten destinations? And this is a big problem because McKinsey says that 80% of tourism goes only to the 10% of destinations. Now we have tourists get crowded experience, it's not very good, and citizens are feeling frustrated by the over-tourism. As a Spanish company, we know a little about over-tourism because we manage many cities, and our challenge with artificial intelligence is to move these citizens to the city centers, or for example, in summer, to crowded beaches, to that local gems that the local people know and don't appear in the first page of Google. No? For this reason, this is the top 10 of the countries most visited in the world. Anyone of this room has visited all of them? Please raise your hand if anyone. Yeah? Okay, this is very good. This destination have a lot of resources, invest heavily in visitor data, in digitalization, and is to stay ahead and to be more competitive. Meanwhile, less than 30% of rural areas have data visitors, and now who are the visitors and why? For this reason, this is a problem because in many destinations can disappear, can't survive if you don't have tourism. For this reason, we want to bring back or to be more democratic, to spread this tourism. And this is for two reasons. The first reason is that DMOs have only 51% limited resources economical to invest, to be more competitive in tourism, and not have enough staff. There are little areas to manage all the system. For this reason, with Cicerone, our platform, we solve this problem too with less economical resources because it's not necessary integration. It's artificial intelligence, a layer that enhances all the channels of the destination to attract tourism and get loyalty. Later, we are going to see it. Because Cicerone, how it works, Cicerone, our platform combines the best of both worlds, the best artificial intelligence. We work with Microsoft and OpenAI, but not the knowledge of OpenAI. The knowledge is of the destination. For this reason, we create a RAG, an agentic RAG, a library of all the knowledge of the destiny, with all the gems that local people know and not the other people, to guide the visitor in the 3 stages of the travel. Before, how many of you use the typical destination website to plan your trip? Because there are a lot of information in official website. It's very difficult to interact, to scroll a lot. And many people use, like Natalia says, ChatGPT because it's faster. But we turn the website in a tourist office 95, we are going to see later, and in speaking or customize, tailor your travel directly. During the travel, we interact in the touch screens in the tourist office to move tourists balance to other places to be not crowded places, for example. And after all the profiling, all the conversation, we make a profiling about the visitors to get loyalty with campaigns, marketing campaigns, automatically with artificial intelligence, season off. For example, to bring back, for example, in 6 months here to Riyadh. We are going to see in action, yeah, we are going to see a solution. This is, for example, with Scrapping Web, we do in 1 week. This is Riyadh, for example, for my travel this weekend. But if you know, the tourists don't want to make a scroll. Tourists don't want to interact only in 1 or 2 languages. For us, it's better directly talk.
How can I help you?
Sorry, can you? hello, I'm here in Riyadh at 10 for the Anturims, and I want to see art, local events, dinner near the Mandarin Hotel. I'm from Malaga, and I want to move on foot yesterday and after day because.
Great choice visiting Riyadh. Over the next few days, the weather should be pleasant, with highs around 30 degrees Celsius and lows around 15 degrees Celsius. I'll prepare an itinerary so you can enjoy 2 art-packed days, dive into local culture, and explore dining options around Mandarin Oriental Al Faisalia. Give me a moment while I put your route together.
Is thinking the travel?
All set. I've prepared a personalized route for November 9th and 10th. Would you like more details about any specific point of interest?
Like you say, in second, you have the plan with the transport, how to move. It's a web app, customized tailored to your travel, tomorrow and after the day. If anyone wants to join with us, please give me information on Jax District.
Jax District is Riyadh's creative hub, where former industrial warehouses have been turned into galleries, studios, and cultural spaces. It's an open area full of art, cafes, and events like Noor Riyadh and the Diriyah Biennale.
Like you said, like artificial intelligence can change totally the interaction about visitors and destinations, because there are a lot of information in the destination, but it's very difficult to scroll, to interact. Imagine, like similar Cicerone, to interact with boys in 95 languages. For example, here in Riyadh, I'm Spanish. My English is not very good looking, sorry. And my Arabic is too. But, for example, to interact, no? And to have all the information that ChatGPT only gives you the text, but not the plan to move in the real place. No? For this reason, we recollect a lot of data, 300,000 interactions per month. This is a real example of Madrid, for example. All the conversation, we analyze all the infers, for example, the city, country, the language, logically, the feeling, because how are you make a survey? Currently, it's very, very difficult, no? But it's easy to analyze the sentiment of the conversation, the complaints. What kind of visitor? I travel for a congress. I'm a MICE tour. And this is all categories. This is insights transferred to know better the destination, who are they visit us, and what they visit us, no? Because many, many destinations purchase data, like my friend company, Maurian, is here, to interact now the citizen, but many, many destinations without resources don't have this information. It's very clear, no? And Cicerone is like a 20 staff, people, interact that, like you know have a website, it enhances with artificial intelligence all the channels. And it's not necessary integration. For this reason, we are in 5 countries. This is one example of queries. For example, Madrid, the 7th query is vegetariana in the city center, and they launched Madrid Healthy City. And Ibiza, pet-friendly, Curitiba, Brazil, safety plans. This is our vanity metrics. 300 interactions, 300 destinations. We tripled the revenues in only 1 year, 5 million. This is for artificial intelligence. It's crazy. We're totally thrilled. And this is our partners, Microsoft. We make the first European city with artificial generative. And it's training in 400 parameters for disabilities, for the people with accessibility needs. And our other partner is SimpleView, Granicus, the leader in DMOs, that we are the artificial intelligence in this part, is to boost this portal website. And this is the next project we introduced in January to give voice to the old people, like the notebook, with WhatsApp audios to convert in content. And sorry, this is thank you very much. This is artificial intelligence. It's a powerful and not be a threat. It's a very, very great for destination. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you. Following is Caio Farias, who serves as the International Relations Manager at Smart Tour Brazil, a leading GovTech in data intelligence for tourism. He will be pitching the Solution Consensus Framework, an AI and data intelligence platform for public tourism managers that monitor tourists in real time and analyze indicators. Please, I remind the finalists you have a 7-minute window. Thank you very much.
Hello, everyone. My name is Caio Farias. I'm the head of international relations at Smarttool Brazil, here representing Juscelia Carvalho. She is the CEO of the company. Unfortunately, she couldn't be able to arrive here, and so I'm here with the responsibility of presenting the consensus framework to you. Firstly, over 50% of adults already use language models to some capacity. And nearly 80% of organizations integrate AIs into at least one function within their systems. But when we use artificial intelligence for complex analysis, the margin of error rate can reach up to 35%. And I'm not talking about a typo. I'm talking about hallucination, omission, bias, outdated data. All of these problems have consequences. For example, in tourism, we are talking about misguided strategies. In another example, in financial sector, we can have wrong risk assessments and the loss of capital. In medicine, we are risking a misdiagnosis. And in aviation, a single error can cost lives. To put it bluntly, bad AI costs efficiency, accuracy, and even lives. And that is why we needed a better way, a more reliable way. And this is our solution. The consensus framework. It is a multi-agent architecture where different AIs analyze the same problem independently. Then, their responses are processed by a central intelligence, the consensus engine. It performs comparisons, detects contradictions, merges valid points, all to deliver a single validated response. Everything is done with up to 10 rounds of discussion between the artificial intelligences where contradictions are completely flagged, their responses are definitely refined, and then the final output is delivered with a consensus score. Then, a translation engine turns everything into real-world action. I'm talking about public policy suggestions, local service adjustments, and territory-specific strategies. We know that decisions have consequences. And so every single step within our system is auditable for the sake of transparency and ethics. And with our system, we managed to reach a margin of error rate of just 2%. That is, we went from 35% error up to 98% accuracy using the consensus framework. But does it work for hard problems? We tested it where it matters most, both in moments of crisis and in moments of joy. For example, in Rio Grande do Sul, we did the tourism impact analysis at over 470 cities during the largest climate disaster in the region's history. On a lighter note, at the Madonna concert, we did an analysis with integration of public safety insights in a show with 1.5 million people. For 2 years in a row, we are doing the New Year's Eve and Carnival in Rio de Janeiro with live analysis of audience with up to 16 million participants. And at the Lady Gaga concert, we did the analysis in real-time sentiment and perception of 2.5 million people, as well as 35 million social media mentions. To put it bluntly, the consensus engine is now the analytical core of our SCT platform. And through it, we work in a mainly B2G business model with capabilities of working in B2B in over 100 Brazilian cities. Everything is done through our amazing cross-functional team. And with this team, we managed to reach global finalists here, as well as being able to represent the creative sector of Brazil in Brights 2025, one of the biggest events of creatives in the world. And we were able to bring our solutions to be validated by multiple national and international events. But we know that we could do more. And so we asked, what if we pushed it to the limit? What if we brought our solutions to one of the hardest open problems in the world? The Yang Mills mass gap. It is one of the 7 Millennium Prize problems. With a bounty of $1 million for its completion, the world's most brilliant minds have worked on it, but it has remained unsolved for over 70 years. We formalized an attack on it in just 4 hours of AI computing time. that is 100% verified all 4 gaps in Lean 4 in just 20 rounds of discussions between 3 AIs. Everything was done with up to 98.9% computational validation. Everything also used the same methodology that we use for tourism, the consensus framework. If validated, it will be a scientific milestone with implications from fundamental physics all the way to global innovation and sustainable innovation. Everything that we did is published, verified, and open, built in Lean 4 to be shared with the world. If you want, you can scan this QR code and read it all. Actually, I warmly invite you to make a call for your country's scientists to help us by verifying and validating our data. Now, does this mean that we solved it in 4 hours? No. What it means is this: for the first time in history, a century of scientific discoveries can now be formalized and verified by our AI consensus in ways that were impossible before. The AIs did not work alone. They stood on the shoulders of giants, and they stood there together, discussing in a consensus. That changes everything when it comes to tourism. Again, we are not talking about AIs taking over or replacing humans. We are talking about humans and AIs working together in a structured, auditable, and transparent process. It is a new way to think. It is a new way to make public decisions. It is a new way to act in a transparent and in a very, very precise way. Again, consensus is the future of smart tourism. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next up is Jarish Prabhu, is the co-founder and CEO of Instio Experiences, a Kochi, India-based hospitality tech. He will be presenting its solution, Hotel Ops AI, an AI-driven hotel operations platform that automates housekeeping, maintenance, and guest services. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Girish Prabhu. I come from Kerala, India. It's very famous as God's own country. It's very famous as a hospitality destination, and we host about nearly 50 five-star hotels of India. Why I'm saying this? I have about 28 years of experience in technology, and for the last 10 years, I've been working with hotels in India and Singapore. What I see everywhere as a guest or as a vendor, when I go, most of the hotel staff are under pressure. You go there, the front office is actually immersed in tasks, maybe responding to the WhatsApp messages or the chatbots. And housekeeping is they're rushing the rooms, and they don't know exactly what is missing. As a guest, now you have to call up, hey, where's my towel? Where is the dental kit you're supposed to keep in the room? So what happens is the tasks that they have is overwhelmed. Hospitality is about warmth and the smile. The problem today is like, let's open up the curtain of a hotel. You are assumed to clean up few rooms as a housekeeping maid or a person. And on the other side, engineers are meant to maintain the facility properly, but all of a sudden, they get a call from a VIP customer or another occupied room saying that I need a bottle of water or additional 2 towels or whatever. And some other complaints come up that they need AC, there is no AC working. What happens back of the door is now when you call the housekeeping desk, now he has to call upon multiple people to find out where exactly they are so that they can deliver your towel. It takes about 5 minutes. By the time in today's world, the guest is unhappy, they will complain, and there is a pressure. Now you have to manage whether you are going to give the room or the towel. That actually makes a lot of issues for them. After spending so much of time talking to a lot of people, what I understand is hospitality doesn't need more tools. We have enough of tools. But what they want is a system that understands hospitality, that actually help them to work smarter and better. That's why we built a centralized nervous system which helps hoteliers to work smarter. We implemented AI and AI agents to take care of and automate the operations. Imagine this. You call the desk saying that I need additional 2 towels. The AI picks up the call, responds to you in human voice, and automatically creates work order. Our AI engine looks at who is the nearby person to the room and who is equipped with whatever that is requested, and allocates that work to that person, all by itself. This is the AI magic. So why are we different? There are tools automatically, from decades, there are tools which digitizes these. But digitalization still need human involvement. Imagine AI agents taking up much of your data import, export, and planning, scheduling, and thinking for you. That's what we built. We built agents for each role in the hospitality for the hotels to automate their work so that they can focus on the main thing, that is taking care of guests. These are some samples that we have implemented. Our housekeeping agent automatically schedules the work for the housekeeping team early in the morning, so when the housekeeping team is ready for cleaning, they get the work perfectly assigned, and there is no more confusion. It takes care of any restrooms, everything. Another one is it monitors the equipments, it monitors the rooms for maintenance, and plans and alerts the engineering team. Third one is we have our own tool to monitor and audit the rooms and other processes. The fourth one, we have built our own AI engine and response chatbots on top of WhatsApp, enabling guests and staff communicate better. Main thing, I would like to also bring into attention that we have also built in a staff app that is voice enabled. In India, we need everything big and large. At least I speak 5 languages, and average Indian speaks at least 3 to 5 languages. So this group, which is about 140 hotels, they were struggling to maintain the team's communication because in the northeast, someone talks a different language. On the south, someone talks different language, and they have different culture. We built the tool which auto-translates the communication, and every staff can just use that in voice. Now, whether you speak Manipuri or Nepali, Bengali, Indian, Malayalam, Hindi, everything is translated, and the person on each side can see them in their own language. Both the app and the voice is in their own language. Another one, a group of 24 hotels basically use our inspection software, which is helping them to do housekeeping inspection. Saving the people, it does through video inspection. Missed items, amenities, or any problems in the room, automatically detected. It saves at least 3-4 people's job in a 100-room property. We are actually redefining hospitality. We are not providing another set of software. We can work on top of the software that is already deployed, or we can fill in where they don't have the software. We currently work with nearly 140 properties in India and Singapore, and this is the team behind. We want to become a global OIS system for hospitality. We want to grow in another 3 to 5 years to 10,000 properties. We are requesting strategic partners and investors who can support us in this dream. Thank you, and we also support ESG. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next, we have Rodrigo Arenas, the Director of Innovation of Be Human, a startup that contributes to the sector by integrating technology, education, and public policy to foster sustainability and social impact in tourism. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Buenas tardes. How many of you have arrived to a new city, a new fascinating city, and you don't know how to move around, where to eat, what places to visit, or even how to ask for help? Well, that happens to a lot of people all over the world. That's a problem that every people faces every day in their own cities, actually. So, inspired in that problem, we kind of ask ourselves, what if you could talk with your city? Or even better, what if the city could listen to you guys? My name is Rodrigo Arenas. I'm the Director of Innovation and Digital Transformation of Be Human, a Colombian organization that believes in the power of design, communication, and technology to bring cities to life. Our journey started in Bogotá, Colombia, a city which is called also like the Athens of Latin America, or also the fridge, because it's very cold sometimes. But for me, Bogotá is much more than the capital of Colombia. It's the place where almost 10 million people live there. It's one of the most visited cities in Colombia, one of the most connected cities, not only in Colombia, but in Latin America, where almost everyone uses smartphones to talk. And also, it's a mega diverse country and a mega diverse city where you can find like different accents, different traditions, and even different cultures. But even with all that mega diversity and potential, of course, we still hear sometimes people that say that Bogotá is the city that belongs to everyone and that belongs to no one. That's actually very sad. So it teaches us that Colombia and Bogotá still have 4 big challenges ahead. We have weak identity, unorganized information, language barriers, and of course, a low digital accessibility. But it's not happening only in Bogotá. It's actually happening also in other cities of Colombia and of course in Latin America, despite the 100 million people that come visit Latin America per year. So people still, citizens and visitors still feel disconnected from their own city and feel sometimes lost. And we, at Be Human, we wanted to close that gap and start building cities with identity and, of course, with life. To provide cities more powerful, to collect data, and also to connect with their own people. And we do that in 3 main steps. First, we build an identity, like a strong brand with vision and shared and common vision of the territory. We start with the digitalization of the territory, which is basically organize information and services into a digital ecosystem. And last, we give the city the capacity to interact by using chatbots powered by AI. What we really want with that is to truly build smart cities. But for us, the smart cities is not the one that have more technology, but the one that makes life easier safer, and most of all, happier. And that's exactly what we are doing at Bogota with our project Bogota.io. Bogota.io is a project that combines identity, tourism, and communication. And through that, we offer the city a place where they can find information, they can find territory marketing, and they also can find any information they need from the city. Through that project, we have built a community of more 100,000 followers in social media, 2 million views over this year, and also we have a permanent chatbot powered by AI that can interact with 3 different languages with the citizens and, of course, with the visitors. Bogota.io shows us that our project works, our methodology actually works. And we are ready to take that and go beyond that, to go to another city of Colombia and also to other cities in Latin America to start doing this project. Our business project is hybrid and scalable. We work with local governments to provide them the capacity and the tools to build their territorial brands, their city brands, and the tools of technology so they can bring to life their own cities. But our main success is not in the numbers. It's actually in bringing and building happier cities and improving the life of the people. Also, we want to improve the image of Latin America, which is a place with a lot of valuable people that can talk about innovation and that can talk here in Saudi Arabia about tourism. Today, we are looking for investors, of course, partnership, a strategic partnership, and local governments that, like us, believe that cities could be smart, that cities could be happier, and that cities could be connect with the people. Our team, if you want to get in the bus with us, as we say in Colombia, when we want to invite someone to our project, it's integrated by 2 main profiles. Myself, Rodrigo Arenas Mayaudon, which I'm a specialist, a smart city specialist, and my colleague, Camilo Carrillo, which is the CEO of the company and have more than 13 years of experience leading projects in public services. If you want to know more information, just scan the QR. Thank you very much. Muchas gracias, Shakroom, for the time. I know it's a very short time, but I hope you guys could scan the QR and ask me any information, any question you have, and we would like to bring territories to life again. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Last but not least, I give the floor to Mohammed Al-Baheri, CEO and founder of iGo, a local startup from Saudi Arabia that also operates in the UAE. The startup operates as an IoT platform pioneering visual intelligence to protect people and elevate performance in the tourism and hospitality sector. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. Hello, everyone. This is Mohammed Al-Baheri, founder and CEO of iGo. iGo, our vision is clear, protecting people and performance. The food safety is the must. For everyone who are traveling, they want to enjoy food without any worries. So we developed iGo. iGo, an AIoT platform for sustainable hospitality. Before I go our presentation, I'll show you a quick video about restaurant challenges every day.
Every restaurant starts with a dream of success, of happy customers, and of staying open. But in a busy kitchen, one small mistake can become a big problem. A chef forgets to wash hands or wear a hairnet, a fridge stops working, a dish is rushed, and a customer gets sick.
A popular restaurant abruptly shut down.
Worldwide, unsafe food affects over 600 million people every year, with losses exceeding $110 billion. In the Gulf region, the challenge is greater. In Saudi Arabia and the UAE, more than half of new restaurants close in their first year due to high costs, strict regulations, and weak management.
What you have saw really pressure. This is the daily life of the restaurants. Over than 600 billion people get food poisoning globally every year because of unsafe food. And this costs the economy worldwide over than $100 billion. So we create iGo. iGo is your eye in the site. It keep, watch, learn, and they give you in real time what's happening. If someone forget to wear a hairnet or a mask, or even customer waiting too line. So iGo contains 3 main modules. Mobster is computer vision based. It gives you a quick overview about what's happening. It changes any camera to a data. This data, it's a golden insight, so you can act before the fact. Another one, it's Mu'in. Mu'in like inspector. So it's real-time inspection. We integrate with HACCP and regulation in Saudi Arabia and UAE, like Food, Drug and Authority, and the other protocols and government rules to keep the restriction and the food safe. Here, the restriction is very tight, so we developed iGo to comply with the regulation. The last but not least, Nasih. Nasih in Arabic, it's like an advisor. So it gives you a quick brief about what's happening, and you can act before the fact. Nasih, it's an agentic AI. It's specialized in food safety. So you can hire someone to give you an overview about the worldwide and the cases in case of you have report compliance, safety regulation, and even if a document expiry date, whatever you need, Nasih can give you a full understanding. So we are combining AI, computer vision, agentic AI, and another layer, which is food safety compliance matrix. The market is very big, over than 160 billion US dollar in the market. And the region here offer over than 150,000 restaurants in the region. Those have a high risk. Almost of them, 50 of them can close within their first year. And our target to achieve over than $7 million that will be achieved within the next 3 years. Our business model is very simple, subscription fees, no upfront cost. So the customer don't have to pay any CapEx model in advance. Our software, including all the hardware required, in addition to subscription services, and with average revenue per users about $500. We are the first AIoT platform in the region. We are not competing with any POS provider or technology provider for the restaurants. We are complement with them. We are an AI safe layer. This AI safe layer makes sure the food is safe. Our traction have been we already trusted by the top leading companies, multinational restaurants worldwide. We are planning installing some pilot with them in Saudi Arabia and UAE. This can be done with a great team. Me, I am Mohammed Al-Bahiri, founder and CEO. I have an experience over than 20 years in Saudi market, along with my partner Ala Hussein. Ala also have an experience over than 20 years in Saudi Arabia. We have been working together over than 8 years, building companies, scale that already have been acquired. Along with an expert team in AI, computer vision, machine learning, and business development. Why now? The time is real. We are one of the first mover in $60 billion market. The $60 billion market investment a lot. We already have a strong validation. Over than 90% of our customer and approaches, they are interested in iGo. You know, tourism is trust. Trust became with food safety. iGo is not just a tool. It's an AI built for humanity, built to save, built to increase repetition worldwide. We're already backed by the Total and Initiative Vision 2030. In Saudi Arabia, we are our owners that were already backed by the top government entities, such as Tourism Development Fund, Code, and National Development Program, NTDP, along with N5 Dubai. Thank you.
Thank you. That's a wrap for the pitches. Can I please have a very big applause for our 5 entrepreneurs? I would also like to thank the jury for the scoring and that the winning startup of the challenge will be announced during the thematic session on the 10th of November 2025. We'll just give a 2-minute break, a very quick one. I know we're a bit delayed in our timing, but a 2-minute just to get prepared for our panel discussion. Thank you.